As we saw on Fox this week, former President Trump is encouraging Americans to get their vaccinations as soon as possible.
Recommend it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it, and a lot of those people voted for me, frankly. But, you know, again, we have our freedoms, and we have to live by that, and I agree with that also. But it's a great vaccine, it's a safe vaccine, and it's something that works.
Let's find out what the public's saying broadly about vaccines. Pollster Frank Luntz joins us tonight. Frank, good evening. You had a focus group, I guess, sponsored by the de Beaumont Foundation. Tell us about it and what you learned.
We had 19 Trump voters, Republicans, and they had a lot to say about the vaccine, a lot to say about Anthony Fauci and what's happening right now. Bret, there's one clip particularly relevant to what you just reported. There is real concern, doubt, if not distrust, of Anthony Fauci and what he has to say. And I'd love to play that for the viewers right now.
I've tuned him out, frankly. I have no opinion anymore. I don't listen to him.
Liar.
Puppet. Flip-flopper.
Inconsistent.
Self-serving.
They've given up. They've given up on him because he keeps changing the goalposts. He keeps changing his mind. And that interaction that you had with Rand Paul, I don't want to undercut Dr. Fauci's credibility, but among Trump voters, he has none. And if we are to get people vaccinated, what these Trump voters are telling me is that they need evidence other than Dr. Fauci, their own doctor, their own healthcare provider. They're more likely to trust than anybody else.
All right, let's play another soundbite. This is vaccine impressions. Take a listen.
Scary not knowing the long-term side effects.
A miracle, albeit suspicious.
Unproven.
Rushed.
Not sufficiently tested.
Don't hold my freedom hostage.
My fear of the vaccine is more than my fear of getting the illness.
And
I mean,
that's your problem.
Pretty cut and dry, Frank.
Yes, and that's the challenge. That is up to the Biden administration to step up and to allow doctors to deliver the message. And the most powerful, impactful message of all, 90% of all doctors, if given the chance, have taken the vaccine. They are much more likely to be trusted than any politician, than the previous presidents, even more than Donald Trump himself. And that's the key. Give them the facts, give them the information, and then let Americans themselves decide what to do.
But, you know, Frank, you saw the former president come out on Maria Bartiromo, who was anchoring Fox News Primetime, saying people should get the vaccine. Do you think that moved these folks?
It's a good first step. And frankly, it should have been done months ago rather than now, because people are making up their minds. And the de Beaumont Foundation is a nonpartisan organization, but they've seen what every other pollster is showing right now. The one group least likely to take this vaccine are Trump voters, particularly younger Trump voters. And it's going to take an appeal from the medical community, from the doctors themselves, face to face with their patients, giving the vaccines in the doctor's office rather than these mass sites. That's going to move people, and they've got to be moved if we're going to get to herd immunity.
Yeah, last one. We'll talk about the incentives here for vaccinations. One of them is travel. Take a listen.
We haven't traveled. I'm used to going away 3-4 times a year. So if this is the only way I could go away, I'm going to have to take the chance.
I think eventually I would cave and I would get the vaccine.
And that's the problem. You don't want them to have to cave. You want them to want to do it. So they need the evidence and the facts. They need to know that there is a benefit and give them the choice. It's an issue of personal responsibility rather than national responsibility. You personalize, individualize the vaccine with the doctors. And one last thing, Bret, there is a major millions and millions of dollars campaign, a PSA that shows the previous presidents talking about getting the vaccine completely ineffective. Trump voters want to hear the science. They want to hear the medicine. They want to hear from doctors. They do not want to hear from previous presidents.
Always interesting. Frank Luntz, thank you.